Is this video game the next Fortnite? In the past 2 months, or roughly 3 months maybe by the time this video was uploaded, Arc Raiders consistently kept roughly 320,000 players continuously playing among all different platforms across the whole world. This includes PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, as for now at least. And I can say that as a 1 out of 400 plus thousand person playing this game right now, it feels a lot similar to probably the first time I played Fortnite, or in that general era. Now, I feel like a lot of people say that with new games that do come out, especially when they're like shooter games, for example, but I don't think it's just me who feels this way. Like, for example, we got Tfue that just came back, Myth, Ninja, well, he's always been gaming, but Ninja, Hamlin's, that should be saying something right there. And just other OG YouTubers or streamers returning with this game coming out, which doesn't happen too often, I'd say. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this already, I think I did, but Arc has only been released on October 30th of 2025 and has already a ton of steady players enjoying the game. Arc Raiders is a completely different game from Fortnite in terms of like the main goal. And what I mean by this is that Fortnite is a battle royale. You know, 100 people go into a game, the last one that survives wins. It's as simple as that. Whereas with Arc Raiders, it's a completely different goal. You have to extract good loot instead of being the last to stand. And extractor games can come in different forms. For example, there's PvP ones and PvE. PvE is when you're player versus entity, and entity is basically robots or things that are coded into the game. I'll just keep it at that. PvP is player versus player. So in Fortnite, that's a PvP game because you're fighting players. Now that we got that out of the way, a couple examples of extractor games might be Escape from Tarkov, Hunt Showdown 1896, Dark and Darker, Delta Force, and lastly, Helldivers. Helldivers is purely PvE, as to my knowledge. You get good stuff, you get XP, you get points, whatever. That's essentially what Arc Raiders is, but now it has PvP and PvE. So you're fighting both players and you're fighting robots. And I think it's this reason to why it's holding such popularity. For example, Apex Legends. It's pretty much exactly like Fortnite. It's a battle royale, you go in, last player standing wins. It was released in 2019, and out of the 7 years it's been published so far, it's had a peak of 624,000 concurrent players. And even though Arc Raiders is a game you have to pay for, it's maintaining half of what Apex Legends' absolute peak was. Not to mention, again, in just 2 to 3 months. However, there are some reasons to why Arc Raiders may never even ever reach the popularity of Fortnite, and without you even noticing, I actually just listed probably 90% of them. As I just mentioned, Arc Raiders cost $40 USD on Steam, which ultimately means that less new players are going to try it out. And a lot of you might just say 40 bucks, that's nothing. But that barrier, like I almost didn't buy the game when my friends asked me to buy it because, you know, the deal. When your friends tell you to buy a game and you play for a week and quit, it's not fun. So to the average like 12-year-old to like 30-year-old that wants to even just try this game, they have to pay $40 American just to do so, just to try it, just to see if they like it. And another big reason why this game may not get the popularity that Fortnite has been given, it's got proximity chat, characters swearing, more realistic graphics, and honestly, just in general, more tailored to more mid-teens or adults. Ultimately meaning that less people are going to pay for it. See, little Timmy won't be able to play this game simply just because it's not family friendly. Especially with proximity chat, you can't even predict what other people will say across that microphone. And to back up my reasoning for more realistic graphics, you know what? This is kind of self-explanatory. Just more kids aren't appealed to realistic games. Even I as a kid, I didn't really play Call of Duty that much or Halo or anything that had realistic graphics. I was more into games like PvZ Garden Warfare or, of course, Fortnite. For those of you who actually know Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, you guys are legends. That game was peak. That game should have gotten the popularity that Fortnite had, let's be honest. Okay, but back to the reasons why Arc Raiders might not be popular for long, is it's still in the phase that it could result in being a fad. And if you don't know what a fad is, it's like fidget spinners, for example. They gain a lot of popularity really fast and then fall off immediately. like a lot of other games. And this could happen really quickly if they don't dopamine spam, they don't collaborate with influencers, add new guns, tech, just stuff in general to the game. And I know that it is a new release, but this is the competition here. You're literally competing against Fortnite. To their advantage though, Arc Raiders does seem to be updating quite often. For example, they literally just did a couple days ago. And although it does have a lot of bugs and, people aren't happy because of all this lag issues or whatever's going on right now, not too in tune with that right now, but whatever is going on, I'm pretty sure Arc Raiders will fix it. They are a pretty community prioritized team behind the scenes, and I wouldn't doubt if they fix these issues sooner than later. And I would also not be surprised if they keep adding more updates in the future more frequently. Because of this reason, people are loving the game, they want more people to be more interested, and they want their concurrent players to keep that interest in the game. For those who have ever played Helldivers or Helldivers 2, this is exactly where they fell off. They could have added so much more stuff. Just new stuff attracts players. Simply as that. It is also like $80, so the entry to even play the game is quite high. Also, one of the big reasons Fortnite blew up was because of its influencers. They included Ninja, Nick A30, Travis Scott, Marshmello, like just popular people in general, and that's really what gained their popularity. Yeah, remember the Travis Scott concert? I'm reading it right now. It had around 14 million people join the concert on Fortnite. And just to back this up, in November 2023, when the Fortnite OG map came back, 44.7 million were playing the game. The concurrent player count was 44.7 million people. Do you know how crazy that is? Even in 2020, they had the Galactus event, which had 15.3 million players. Like, the growth of Fortnite and the sustainability that Fortnite has is second to none. It's insane. So that brings us to the question. Is Arc Raiders the new Fortnite? Well, right now, it feels like it. But just keep in mind this. Fortnite's live events help them reach 14 to 15 million concurrent players. To even play Arc Raiders, you need to pay at least $40 USD as of right now. The target demographic for Arc Raiders is also for like late teens, I think, as I said, mid to late teens to adults, because it does have the swearing, it does have proximity chat, it has more realistic graphics, etc. Fortnite has had insane longevity and generational popularity. Fortnite also includes events, different game modes, tournaments, competition that we haven't seen in Arc Raiders yet, at least. If Arc doesn't stay new, interesting, and different, it may just go stagnant. So yes, there is a lot to consume when comparing Arc Raiders to Fortnite, and the fact that they're two completely different game themes or game goals, whatever you want to call them. One's an extractor, one's a battle royale. It's still fun to compare the two since I'm getting the same feeling that I got when Fortnite was released. And you know what? Even if Arc Raiders doesn't ever become Fortnite popular, in my opinion, it will still be one of the best games I've ever played in the past 5 years of not having any new, good multiplayer game. Also, just let me know if you want to see more Arc Raiders content. Subscribe.